weekly government of Salone press conference, so the type of income to the day that they do them way, their responsibility to honor the people of this country for can explain to honor the policies, the programs which they do, for them to be accountable to honor, and for them to continue the civic discourse, civic engagement with the people of this country. I want to say since we start this, today are probably one of the biggest days they will ever get. In terms of sectors in this country, in terms of people the way they in charge of huge parts of the country in business. A big honor and privilege for me, for the people in Nigeria I respect, where they do fantastic work as public servants. I want to start for say some people put out this poster, and this now for so now three with credit. I get plenty response across the board. Saying that 3 of the top public servants in Salone you get so today. Many people, including people who are normal critics, they give accolades to each and every one of my 3 panelists that I have. So I want to start by saying, again, I'm going to be in blue skies. In the midst of challenges that this country, people they do their work. When the people of Salone will say, on a 3-way there, on a people level are exceptional public servants. They want to congratulate you now for that. And I look forward to this conversation. We get the distinguished governor of the Bank of Salone, Dr. Ibrahim Stevens, where they can provide updates on the transition to the new Leone's digital inclusion and any updates we want to provide. We also get the new Commissioner General of the National Revenue Authority, with our sister, Madam Geneva Baka Mangura. It can also provide updates on revenue generation for the government of Salone. And last, but by no means the least, we get the senior comrade, the brother who all they call Gomas, but his name now Mr. Mohammed Masapoy, we are the Director General at the National Civil Registration Agency, NCI. As usual, before we come to the panelists, I just provide some updates on government business over the past week. Tuesday, 13th February, His Excellency President Leone received the members of the Salone Robotics team. We government in support for them participate in the first Global Robotics Challenge in Singapore. The Robotics Challenge competition for high school students for letting build industrial size robots and for play field game with other team there. The team they will be competing in 191 countries there, and we team will secure 50 position among 141 incoming 6 in Africa. President Bio also received with Brother Aegis Elba and a team of investors, including Zoe Sanokban, CEO of Octopus Energy, and Tamar Hashtag, some of us see the video. We brother the press secretary already share. So this is a part of President Bio, a commitment for continuing to attract investments in Salone, and the conversation around the Shabo Island City project in a special economic zone. The idea and for them build a world-class Afro-dynamic eco-city for West Africa, part of what we call now the Shabo Island. Is the Honorable Vice President of the Republic of Salone, the Right Honorable Dr. Mohamed Jules Jallo, over the weekend in the margins of the 37th General Assembly of the African Union Head of State and Government, the brief members of the African Union Committee of 10 on the reform of the United Nations Security Council. The Vice President represents His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio and commend the President of Equatorial Guinea for hosting the summit and really show the commitment to the common African position where they all don't take for advanced Africa in role and the international community. The Chief Minister, Dr. Moini Masenge, said don't come back home after he participates in the World Government Summit in Dubai. During the visits, the Chief Minister gets plenty high-level meeting them and for advanced use of technology and for improved service delivery and revenue mobilization and reduce bureaucracy in the public sector. So we tell and thank you for your work we go there. At the AU Summit as well, we will see the news says London be unanimously elected to the African Union Peace and Security Council. So in addition to the presence at the UN Security Council, they also put in at the AU Security Council. This is now part of the continued respect for country they get and when they should be around the world. Deputy Minister of Technical and Higher Education, Sergio Aziz Kamara, and the Deputy Minister of Tourism, Khadija Ahene Kamara, then participated at the World Conference on Culture and Arts Education Dubai. And I see one final update where I will present that last week we also see the news say, following the recommendation of the Anti-Corruption Commission, the Ministry of Information and Civic Education, me as the minister will take the step for us, the leadership of the Leone Broadcasting Corporation, SLBC, for step aside, and we set up an interim oversight body led by the permanent secretary of the ministry, Dr. Joe Mima, for let he will provide oversight until the transition happens. Family will say His Excellency we don't pick Madam Josephine Kamara as the new Director General of SLBC, but not start yet to wait for parliamentary approval. Why landing the happen? Because the outgoing DG don't go now as chair of IMC, vacuum the tenure of the board also to expire. So we take the extraordinary step for us leadership for step aside again. We don't remove anybody from their job, we discuss with them, we consult with everybody, and we follow the law. We advise on waiting the law say, I would say we get social media lawyer, then we do social media, we declare, then the lawyer, then the judge, they don't declare already. But I just want to let family know that we commit to follow the law very strictly on this issue. Alright. And all the updates we will get for now. I want to turn the microphone over to a very distinguished panel who gets there. As I say, top public servants in this country. Bank Governor, I start with you. Last week, I get the privilege for Guru Putloko. And I did a town hall in border of the Friday there. We did it together. We engaged the people of Putloko. There's one very important comment here. When we say with the transition from old laws to new laws, in fact, it was a long transition. People let me worry. Country be worry. You set the date. You say, on this date, we will make that transition. We can't have this press conference, we discuss how, we entertain plenty of questions. People let me worry. In fact, some of we will come on a faraway place, like in a bomb. People they call me plenty, this guy for happening, they sell me money, this. To your credit, the transition don't happen. Like somebody can say nobody no die. Nobody no die. And by and large, it has been done with absolute applause. You and your team, when I don't do this transition, no scarcity no happen, no complaint no day where you see people don't say, hey, this is a transition, we don't want to have to save money on there and This is an opportunity for them to explain to the people how we do it and also we do right now as a country when it comes to this issue of the transition to the new law and the stewardship of the Bank of Salone. Over to you, Governor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Good afternoon, family. I'm really glad the way you invite me to come to this press conference. You're right. We don't do quite a lot over the past 2 to 3 months. But I think also for start this talk, I will tell people and thank you. Tell the public plenty thank you. When we make this announcement, I think around early to mid-November, we make this announcement, say December 31, 2023, only Leone will stop for illegal tender. People believe we, then trust what we tell them. We said two things. First, we're not going to lose nothing. No wash, no do anything for try for create problem for yourself. Because at the end of the day, we don't plan this in a very simple but organized way. We say if you go to any bank after the 31st, so from the 1st of January this year, till March, 31st of March, they will take your money. You don't need to worry for anything. The second thing what we do is we make sure so we get enough stock. The staff then tell me, say, in the past 5 years and the first Christmas, we have been way pressure on the bank. Say, well, let me thank God, we plan ourselves well. But enough stock there. You know, you can plan well, but sometimes the thing go happen where you don't make up. So we continuously engage. We send people a goal plan. We engage with the chieftain, the powerman chieftain. And as I talk to you, so we maintain that dialogue there. But the good news is, based on the records we get at the Bank of Sierra Leone, we don't collect over 85% of the money we lay outside. Over 85%. We still get 10, as I say, until end of March. You can go to any bank, any side. They're not supposed to charge you nothing. They're not supposed to ask you for opening accounts with them. Just get your identification for sure. So now you are the person with the account the money. They're supposed to accept them from you by directive. But even if you miss the end of March, end of next month, you don't need to worry, because you can still bring an account in the Bank of Sierra Leone, or we get one main agent who they use, now Apex Bank. Apex Bank now the daddy for all them community banks then. So you get access all over. You know, so between we and Apex Bank, we're going to mop up any of the remainder. We're still very quietly confident that most people will come in, we consider what they get by the end of March. But this thing not to forget anybody in that. Currency reform, the transition to a new currency, as long as you guide the public and you tell them the truth about what you want to try for do, you give them enough notice, problem not supposed to be. And we then don't they use we now as a good example, Sierra Leone, as to how we manage this process over the past few months. But even building up to this time, you know, we don't engage with the banks, then we make sure so they get enough stock. We set the bank, so we make sure so we get enough stock, get enough storage space. So the logistics of actually the work involved, you know, of actually how to get this done, we don't put everything in place. And we continue to engage. We do mobile exchange. We set like I said, Freedom, we go to Dead West, we go to Dead East, we go to the provinces, we go Port Local, we go McKinney, we go Bo, we go Kenema, we go Cambia, we go Kono. And depending on what team they read and we discuss with the chief, because they give me good information about how things they go at the locality, then we prepare for it and go further. Because we still get them. So the message to the public I will say, thank you very much for the confidence you are getting we. Thank you very much for believe what you will tell you. You know, we're ready for take any event that we want to get, because we as a central bank get a legal obligation for pay on demand, we also will not issue, and we will continue to do that. The bank then, and they do a lot of good work, but we make sure say they serve the public. So we get a consumer protection unit at the back of Salone, where if you hear anything, I will give the number. Where if you hear anything, if you say the bank need follow, you can tell the bank. Minister, after April, I want to give the country the assurance if you still get all that old money, kind of back of Salone, you get new one. Or if we go out with Apex Bank or with SSF, come to any side. As long as we know, as long as that Leone we issue, and we know how to check them, we give face value of the new money. No problem at all. One last thing I want to touch on, that the abbreviation. I don't know one or two colleagues people they say, well, LE, SLE, MLE. So as I talk to them right now, the abbreviation way for is not NLE. Because if you look at the regulation of the put out, the consequential regulation for the denomination, we say NLE. And then the international code, now SLE, all are capital letter. But the NLE now capital L, sorry, capital N, capital L, and small e. Sorry, small e. Then the international code, where bank they use for international transaction. If you use to say EON, or normally that international code is for international transaction. A capital S, capital L, and capital E. But you don't need to say the old LE the pueblo. Let's explain something. Right now, we get people with the go cabinet and the go parliament, for the parliament enact an amendment to the PSL Act so that NLE will become the new accepted abbreviation locally. But in order to pull LE, what people think in order to pull LE now because for historical and accounting purposes, you know, records them day will still be right with LE. So if you can't change everything for the NLE, even backwards, then it will create some confusion. So waiting Parliament will pass as we propose to Parliament, I think the cabinet now, they don't come on office, I think they go last time they go Parliament. And for make Parliament retain LE in the Act just for historical purposes and accounting records because LE don't live from 1964 to 31st December 2023. NLE it don't in operation from 1st of July 2022 where the denomination begin and they continue. So we knew abbreviation NLE for international transaction capital S, capital L, and capital E. So if you want to send money abroad, the bank SLE, right? But we believe this not will create any confusion, as I will explain. LE don't retire, but it's still in the book on the record. So on the idea from today, when somebody look at records, they're going to say something with them at the LE, then something called NLE. The difference between the two is NLE now 1,000. You divide LE by 1,000 for NLE. So now the last thing that I mentioned, and then Minister Lam pass to you, I will take question them and answer any question around this issue.
Thank you very much. In fact, I want to say I will charge the journalists there for this free class who I get soon today. But and a real responsibility for the civic education. Governor, I want to put on record again on behalf of the people of this country and the government of Salone. Real appreciation for the professionalism of you and your team, and for where you take your time again for break down this in such simple terms for family house. We'll make sure that this video go far and wide as well. We'll cut this out, so we'll clarify this abbreviation issue as well, and we'll continue forward. So if you get a question again, the reminder is for use the code we get a mobile code, we get the slide page for let's say the question. It is now on the screen, whether in front of me there as well, the barcode here on the invite will be sent all the time out. So you can send the question in. If you get more than one question, I will answer. I will ask that question, make sure so your questions are answered. If now one big question you get, then you can wait for your chance inside the hall. But when I open up, now one question more you get a chance to ask. If you want to send more than one, send it online and I go answer. Alright, now we come to NIA. Huge NIA. Everybody gets something to say about NIA. Whether we ask how NIA raise money for we, or whether the tax problem and all this. And Bangoya, you just, when you return to NIA, and since you return, this is your opportunity for come tell family. Where you go, what you meet, and what you don't do so far, and how, what you for expect in terms of NIA work, particularly revenue mobilization inside 2024.
Okay, thank you, Minister. First of all, for the way you give me the opportunity for come talk to Family for the work we do, the NIA, the work we do for support the government. Governor, I want to tell you thank you for the free lesson. Mr. Baby, the wonder. Lady, and as you talk, that's why they like. So I remember. You know, this time is second term, with this program you begin, at that 10 day, I begin at the Ministry of Finance as Deputy Minister of Finance 1. So Minister invites me, boss, at that time, Minister of Finance, Sonata and I said, I join you. So me and camp, I can support them. But as in dinner at the podium, emergency camp. So now I say, General Council. So now the second term is for come here, and I plan for there. And I think say we and Mulana party them. So now we'll go easy for the question. Before I answer Minister in question, waiting I meet and waiting I expect for you, you know, it's funny for me to go back for tell from them how NIA do in 2023. Because in life, before they move forward, it's better for me to move back. So people they will really understand what side you come out. From what I know say, NIA, the target way we work for, now Parliament, they agree on at the end. So in 2023, we'll begin the year, the target way Parliament give we now 9.346 billion. And then during the year, you know, a lot can happen. Ministry of Finance can take the budget, go back to Parliament, we start with get supplementary budget, or the IMF can come and say, you know, I'm not saying something here for happening during the year, and they call them projection, so they can change the target for me. So mid-year 2023, that target they go up small bit for me. So they change them to 10.956. We go up small bit. But then again, during the year, anything can happen. As we all know, they go through the IMF program, which just ends. So when they come back and say, no, the projection what we make for now, we say something not they happen. Or we say they happen this way, but they happen some other way. So they come back and reduce the target for we, and then we can come to 10.277 billion. So we end the year with that amount there. So throughout the year, all the effects they go up and down. Now that's we end with. But I just want to make my fun with the members say 2023 now be a challenging year for the world. We get election, we happen, and during that time, you know, say businessman them, when they're not sure what's going to happen, and they hold on to the money. So we get a challenge there for grapple with. We can also not say towards the end of the year, we get some security challenges there. And when they happen, you know, businessman, and we can get confused towards the end of the year. But with all of that, we tie with NIA, and we make sure, say, we do the best to make sure, say, we make it country proud. So the actual amount, from all three amounts that we don't give, the actual amount will be incoming, now be 10.1 billion. Now, if you compare them with the target for end plan, not so small, and it's small, it's not always, about 4%. But if you compare that to the original amount, if nothing not been changed, and we hold the original amount, now 8% more than we bring in. So with all the challenges then we will go through, and one of the biggest challenges then besides the election year, you know where IMF can come, they always say that they influence the development of the, well, they work with them for push the Finance Act together. And some of them will not say, because of the challenges they will get, we will implement none of them Finance Act in it. So with all of what we go through, we still come in very little, or we don't come above if the original targets we don't keep. And then let me now tell you about 2024. So because we're not able to do it in all the implementations in the Finance Act for 2023, and then the Ministry of Finance can add the 2024 plan tab. Then tell we say, Parliament say we approve on our budgets now for make it be 14.972 billion. We have 48% more than the 10.1 billion last year. Not a small money, Daniel. But we do, and the Ministry of Finance and the IMF will work together with the assumption that all what we were not able to do last year, we do this year, plus what's in itself for do this year for the Finance Act 2024, we do. And I want to make people and family know say we don't already begin work on that. Because we don't configure, we don't begin to reconfigure the systems. And for example, we all know say the Finance Act 2024 don't increase rates, import duty on less, cement, iron ore, cooking oil, and all of that. For make we able to implement that, we never play or reconfigure the systems in Asikuda with our customs. Also, the Finance Act we say, you know, free quality education, very proud for say NRA, we support that and we continue for support. So what's in the Ministry of Finance say, the withholding tax when contractors then, when they work with contractors, when they hold the money, prior to 2024, now is 6.5. But for them to be able to support the free quality education, development education fund, there's a 1%. We don't add 1%, so now 6.5. For them to implement that, they will therefore now go on DTD department, when they the large money, most of the money, over 60%, all the income, they come out of that department there. We therefore go and tweak and system small bits, so we'll allow for that 1%. So from them, I want for people to know say, as of January 1, what are the dates where the Finance Act for implement or for begin? We don't fix with systems then for begin for collect that taxing. And for that, I want for people to know say the year don't begin strong for revenue mobilization. Normally January is a very slow month. But this January, we try because we don't begin to implement not only what we were able to do for 2023, but we don't able to do for 2024, in addition to the additional written call. I want to wrap more quickly on the reform sim where NRA belong undertake. And I'm glad the waiting NRA plan to do, or belong to do, and what will they continue for do, it feed into the big 5 game changers we come for technology. NIA, we're very ambitious because when we will begin with the reforms, we're not just do on one department. We start with customs, as we all know, if we look at the records. We take with Asikuda Awards, one of the prosperous, very antiquated, very old system. We turn them over, make them world, for make sure say we able to compete not only within the West African region, but also within the country, within the nationwide, I mean, globally. So we do that in our customs, and we already use that system, we are no say now web-based. Before we make that change, if you don't go down to customs, you're not able to do your work. But since we make that change, any side we in the world, you will able to begin your declaration and do them without even the effort in a salon. And one big advantage to that functionality, to that system, now the text messages. We all know that if you're an agent, if you get your text, if you get your telephone number in the system, every step along the way will they notify you whose side you process it. Unlike in those days, first you can finance or you can NRA, it will send you paper. You don't need for council anymore. You go to any side, we will able to reach you with the text messages. For ETD, as I tell you, now 60% of what's in with the income that day to day. We don't do so many reforms. We don't hear about the ITAS, we don't hear about the ECR. The ECR we get small challenge, and the ECR now they use for collect with GST. And we don't talk time and again that it's important for make family ask for the ECR machine. When you go spend money, that GST, now you they pay. Not only the businessman they pay. You they give them for make the pass amount to government. But if you don't ask for your receipt, that businessman they keep that money and they add them for multiply in business. Meanwhile, the money was supposed to come to government for make sure say we get good road, we get hospital, we get school, we get anything we're able to afford as a government in order to come, like businessman benefits. So it is important that we ask for our receipts. The reforms and what we do or don't begin for you, now for really make the taxpayer in life better. Before the reforms, then pass you can and we don't want to make you can we want to really separate the businessman from coming to NLA. But anytime we can NLA, me know for sure say something they pass, and we don't want to NLA continue for happening. Now for that, you for support the system, make sure say you use the system. And if you don't use the system, not supposed to not collect the money, but it will cost you more, and we don't want to make it cost you more. So Minister, I want to stop there. And I know say they will put question, and I get enough information for respond to the questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the Honorable Commissioner General. Family, I start by saying we get the finest public servants in this country. They know it, we will talk about the substance, incredible, the reform work, incredible. You know, I got it today because often, if you just listen to social media, I feel like it's all things and just go on. But the important for us to let you just take a minute and reflect on. We get systems in the way they operate. They're not perfect. We don't transition to a new currency. We don't do them very well. We get major reform in the happen at the banking sector. And I know we'll come back to the governor to talk about digital inclusion because you just financial inclusion because you just mentioned that as well and how we transition and using that. But then also NRA. It starts with the target. Last year, if we tell you say NRA meets 96% of their target last year. Many people have said this country will get not to 96% back. But in fact, the original target they set, they exceeded by 8%. And now they don't put in place measures there for even do better than we did in the last year. We get a competent senior leadership team where is excellency don't put in place. We will continue to work with the infrastructure we don't meet and then they enforce this reform them and then they do amazing work. Digital systems, rolling tax, all them things they don't put in place. And for let them make your life easy. And I don't say like I would say CGO or local. I will explain to people and say when you complain about tax, that the most basic thing about tax are like for 1 year. If government don't get money, all the complain now let the government increase salaries. It's true. But if government don't get money, government cannot. And the only way government they get that money, that way you continue to pay the tax. And it's so simple. You pay that tax anyway. You civic responsibility now for make sure say the tax comes to government instead of left to the businessman. Then we can ask for that simple receipts there. So these are all a part of real responsibility now as citizens. Now I want to move to the other sector again. You know, as I said, it's in a good day for this press conference because we want to talk about ID cards. In fact, I understand say commerce when people are there do it. So anybody we don't explain though. NCIA decides we don't explain though. Anybody want to test the system right now my app. Outside of this remote, you can go there and go give your phone number and take a picture. And you immediately get a text message for the section forget your national identity card. But I want to hand over now to Mr. Mohamed Masako, Director General at NCIA, for make it explain to you the reforms that we don't put in place and why this national identity card important and this deadline we will not set. Waiting at the idea behind the deadline and why make people for move and take the identity card and the steps we don't take for make it easy for the public. Over to you. You can use that mic.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. And we want to talk about the identity. The way the governor they say, talk about money business. Commissioner General talk about payment of taxes. Now what they do all now the people. What do they do with the people then? How do you get them to let them do what you want to do? Why they pay tax? Get to the bank to do this. It is when you know the people. What do they make you know them? Through identity. Who knows the identity? It's the NCRA. If you don't know them, they cannot pay tax. They will evade tax. They will balance tax. If you don't know them, you will risk your money at the bank. You will pay the wrong person in the loss. That's what critical importance for identity. Today, we're happy for the and we want to use this forum for many people to understand, say, when you talk about identity, not for government no more, but for you yourself as an individual. Because for the government able to take care of you, for support you, you therefore make a known that you exist. And when you are not existing anymore, you don't die, you therefore make you, the people that will make a known, say, government knows, say, that person isn't anymore. And that's how we happen, government they update the records. What if nothing will go to you, government will make provision for support other person. Identity they cut across everyone, every sector. From when they born you to when you die. And the NCRA, when you talk about innovation, things what government they do with good, with new, in a different way where it benefits the people of this country. Now, one clear example we define our NCRA. Before we take over governance, when you talk about NCRA, that's what they call National Registration Secretariat, NRS. When you talk about that, that's NLD, they say, let you go work here or let you did it. Nobody knows for member who go near this. That time, the way you retire or when you don't retire, they say, oh, the manager, they do some more assignment day. Or when they want polish sheet, they say, oh, send an NRS. But that 19 don't change from 2018. That's anybody will be proud for opening NCRA, or forget business with NCRA, or forget NCRA product, whether a card, or birth certificate, or death certificate, or marriage certificate, or anything so far we concern Mortimer, whether you live or you die, or you don't die. So, when we talk about work with a lot for make sure, say, we get respect, we get integrity, things the way the world will look at and say, Salon don't do well, or Salon they do very well. When they admire Salon, when it can happen many times now in recent times, people they come out across other countries for Ghana Salon, for us, when NCRA, how government don't do for let this change to for the government respect on our documents in this country. 2 weeks ago, we just get the Minister of Internal Affairs from Netherlands. They say, Pastor, tell me how do you work in this country? What you are going to do different? Because they share experience, all that documents that they get from other countries, and how Salon identity information don't change for the good, for all. They will be there for no place, and none of them will get from Netherlands, from Ethiopia, from Tanzania, from Nigeria, etc., etc. We are doing so because we get support at the highest level of government. So when we got to over governance in 2018, we make sure say the law always say for account for anybody within this country. Ide, Usa Ide, Yuna Buddha, what do you do? Everything concerns you from when you don't born, till you die. We get a record of that. The essence for that is to make sure say government, they will get the other institutions who support government in terms of getting information, resources, financial or otherwise, for support government work, free quality education, field salon, etc., etc. And through the identity, we don't do a lot of reforms. One clear case is we will support for the last couple of years the National Revenue Authority for make sure so they know exactly who that get this business, who that this taxpayer. Before we can government, check numbers in there that will get 3, 4, 5 business. But if they only pay tax for one, they want all government to get nothing.
You don't mean say new.
Now example of what of this. But when we begin work with NRA, we able to give them access to see how they track their identity, the people they only pay tax. You know, they have balance tax again because if you are Mohammed Masako, you get business, you do pharmaceutical business, you do general supplies, you have a cleaning service, you get 3 businesses. Then 3 businesses are all tied to what you call that magic number, the national identification number. We know the escape. Whether you're not a twin or you get many Mohammed Mubashir Masakois, that number may be distinctly, clearly identify all the 1,000 Mohammed Mubashir Masakois. They don't duplicate. The government, the law, say we know they will use that. Through that, we able now know exactly whether there is 3 business and for make sure say for pay for that 3 business tax. What in the effort for make sure say we enforce compliance. And that supports the NRA. Make sure say whose government supporter say able mobilize resources for government. Now we say we will get all the records on almost 90% of all men in this country, including I'm sure all of you in this room. We say government say no, they don't say we as a government will very much take law serious. We know the Bakadiki. She take law then for no. We say the law says people must be identified. The last over 10 years, they let me the key, we don't get ID card in this country. And the ID card who they get, you know they get that kind of security picture where you go make, counterfeit or forger. Where you use a normal, you can change and what could they have with identity? But we'll make sure say now we design one where we not just because we say we are government or salon say that we make this ID card this way. We consult far and wide. We bring in international partners. We follow ECOWAS, AU, and UN guidelines for make sure say how identity will look like. So that when anybody will come out salon they get ID card, they go Austria, for instance, present. They don't say no. Is there in line with what you do world say? No, to that world for salon no more. No, this one we will do this here. This time as a government. We make sure so you will be proud of them. Whosoever you pull up. And now they can attract even with international partners that they come, they take with ID card. And so we start to produce ID cards. But the good thing about how we do your ID cards this time, we don't make sure say you don't need for common picture for example say ID card. We call and we do how we call it decentralized service. You then Kaila no move pay. That's go to office, do your application process, give within 72 hours, you go to the ID card. Which was never the case. What did that mean? We don't make sure say that transport will be pulled from Kaila from Kerala, from Makeni for Calfreeton, for can't take ID card. The inconvenience when you be the get so you come back for can't take ID card for lodging, for internal transport, for feeding. Government say, no, don't take that money. Don't put that away. Take the service to people that are endorsed and let them get it. The good thing is it's important for people to know say ID card is very much important for all because now in here the personal information, everything about you now on ID card in there. Now the law call multi-purpose national ID card. That ID card you get your details, including your information about your parents and your family. So that's in the day where somebody will grab no more, because you get power, you get some influence, it claims it, now your papa and all that kind of person, because you don't die, dead property. When you don't get any trace of your family history, then they will use some other means for yeah. We as a government will not be part of corruption anymore. We say, if you are Mohamed Massacre, truly you are Mohamed Massacre. You want to phone the Massacre, you want to add a Massacre, you can buy all of those ones. It's clear in there. So you don't even miss me on name for able to take something, you have to do what I think. You are reliably and precisely identified. And so, because you get that number there, you pass the information, they go with you what we call a national identification number. They get various names. America, they call them social security number. Ghana, they call them national ID number. Nigeria call them the same way as how they call them. So that number there, 1986, clearly identify who are you, what it be. So in case you can get una meet up per name, una not meet up per that number. And the law says, even when you die, you hold that number there. We will only change and pull from you after 150 years. So that tells you that it doesn't change. We are enforcing that as a government. So you need that ID card because by law now, governments, the law say, now that ID, now you use for access services in this country. Which can service so? This long. But like governor say, you want to go do the transaction in the bank. Now that ID, you use to get information. You NIN. So they don't miss you. Go back to get service to the bank. First step, when they go apply for loan in the bank, if you take go back say 2-3 weeks or 1 month or more, for really know your history, who are you. But when we don't work with the Bank of Sierra Leone, all the banks through the Bank of Sierra Leone, and I'm happy that Governor himself now a very strong advocate for the NIN and financial inclusion. Well, the partner so when you now go for go check for go take loan, if you get bad debt na Eco Bank, you want balance and you want go take loan na Standard Bank. When you see Standard Bank or Eco Bank check, send information to governor and BSF. For no that now was really, if you know directly, was really get bad debt na Eco Bank, you get bad debt na Commercial Bank. So what happens? They will now advise that bank when you go for go take that loan, they say, that man will want to give money and so. They get so record. Now so it happen in first world. When you see America, they advance that. They will say simple and common. And that's small thing in different serious. So if they support criminality, if you don't get people that identity right. So I said that possible with the way take money and take and we don't get it all. They run away. But it's not possible anymore. And that
I need to ask you, I know say this the goodies for this ID card plenty. Because I want you 2 extra minutes now because I want you more time now and I want to open up to questions. So let you focus in these 2 minutes on the deadline and why that deadline is important for the people that get an ID card.
Important because we don't sit down with all the sectors. We say by the 31st of March, by the all man getting ID card. The reason being because you don't go for go get service at the end of the sectors. You go go apply for admission at university, they ask for ID information you don't get. You don't limit the chance. They will lie in and government say, because I'm not supporting them, that not go to college. Not lie. Or you go get a bank loan a bank. They say, oh, that government that don't send to government, but they're not giving loan because if I get to support some other person. Not lie. So it's now, you now get responsibility for saying, get the ID. They are available. All the districts and in some other outlets. Go take the ID so that you don't go miss the opportunity where government will provide. Or what you need for real development in this country. That I know to say, go out by the 31st of March. No reason say we don't get facility. It's open. Maybe on Saturdays we'll be able to meet them. So go there and get the ID. That I know because we normally just say they don't let people from government service or government support. Say go take care. And when you take that, when you go any side for go access service, you will get it. Another people don't connect now the platform with many MDAs. So we can go any ID, They reject systems that you not produce. Now you self. That could be the deadline. Now for the people themselves, they don't know say tomorrow, government don't pull you out as of June. And for them you feel yourself inside. But that's not left out. That's the essence of it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed Masakoi, Director General NCRA. I'm very proud to say I get my national ID card. We already there, we get the ID card. If you didn't know, you don't get. If you're not from Bolivia, in a house, you don't get. I'm going to encourage you to let you get to you. It's a unique identity as a Sierra Leonean. It's not a source of pride. Who we live in the West, I also get me US ID card now. You don't go no side, so you don't get it. You know, any side go, you want to buy something, they ask you. Identity, now you show you pass. Say, so we will transition now into society. We say, like how the Director General say, forget bank transactions. For let you get any other transaction you see, exam or public exam where you want to open account to, you want government benefit to, you want to register for land or you want to go register even to car. Anything you get now from March 31, now power mandatory, you forget. The good news is forget the ID card. Again, this is another blue skies news. But putting a salons that they forget, as in saying a government service forget. I don't want to call any government particular institution in name. But Skadi, as in say government is using a to line. You forget Sababu, we go there, you get temperature, they go up, push there, they get time. This is my ID card, I prove them. I've been there up in the building until last week. I come down in the building, I don't talk to nobody. I don't make minister for call first my colleague. I just go there. At Tina, I tell you, man, say I come for my ID card. I give my number, he pull out. 2 minutes. I get a text message, they snap me, I pay, I go up. 2 days later, I get text message, I go down, I collect my ID card. I collect. No, it's true. When things go well, we for also applaud the people that we don't create the system. And now we didn't and then I don't know so, would they encourage you for the work. Okay. Now, welcome to the heart of the matter. Questions. Patience. Please give me a year. First, we get the question, they will come online. So, I'll ask it first. Number 1, Bank Governor. The selection and the status of the exchange rates in the current country for exam. Clearly, too light on the country in terms of payments. Somebody say, thanks for making the denomination possible, Mr. Governor. We see the people forget to economic cashless. He said, dually everything is happening for letting people reduce corruption. Question for Madam Jennifer. You think, say, by giving NRA the yearly revenue targets, now recipe for possible corruption, the person is suggest say, we didn't give the target this, so therefore let them raise more than we say, what's the reach target, the balance and the whole now. Mrs. Henry answers that question it was, and they allow the CG for the answer. The other one is say, Madam Jennifer, it's not for you back. I think corrupt officials then would divert the excess. I think the same thinking and they say they would divert the excess revenue. How will that be handled? Mr. Governor, another one for you. You think say the delay of the previous leadership for withdraw the old Leone didn't get any negative impact on the economy? The other one, Mr. Governor, the ways as which people let it handle local bank notes is very concerning. What do you think you would do for minimize that? So we get online questionnaire, 6 questions don't come to the online platform. And they need chance for make them respond to the questionnaire. And then I can over to you. First, make us start with you, Madam Jennifer, because I can see the 2 questions they asked are the same about the idea of the target
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Minister. And I want to tell the one that we asked the question, plenty thank you, because they're not there, but I believe that they watch it and they listen to it. You know, I just want to come back and briefly just talk about how the targets we parliaments they approve, how we set them. So I think I will explain, say, you know, we not do them in a vacuum. We do them, so for the Ministry of Finance, when I was supervisory ministry, they lead the process in collaboration or together with the NIA. Or we international partner, we the IMF, we can all sit down together and we look at for cutting them. You know, we look for see, first of all, how the economy, salon economy get for time, how the global economy get for time, what thing will they expect for come, what thing will they expect for happen, how this they happen, how this not they happen. So the targets where they will always where they set for we really do them in a vacuum. Now we all come together as one. And as I tell you, we don't surpass, we can always surpass the targets. While beginning the introduction, I talk saying that the parliament is set for we. But over time, the figure change based on waiting with the projects for happening during the economy. So the person in concern for say target not for set because once we reach that we target, which even if we reach them, we can always surpass them. So we will try for divert upon and not believe say that don't ever happen and that it will ever happen because we constantly they review the targets. If you go up, we can come up. If you don't know what's going to happen. If you can't down, we can down. So we don't believe say corruption will happen because we always strive not only for meet the targets but for surpass them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. We have 4 questions there. One on the exchange rate for reserve and debt repayment, the other one on cashless economy, the other one talk about delay in previous withdrawals, and the last one is about how for handle notes. So that's right. We exchange rates. Two sets of means it will be very stable over the past 9 months to 1 year. And this happened also by accident. It happened because we take very definite steps for address certain issues that we in Hamburg, the foreign exchange market. We first of all change the law, for that we allow the use of the other currencies other than the Leone in transactions inside Sierra Leone. So for example, if you travel camp, you go to a hotel, as long as that hotel they license under the Tourism Act, you can pay with foreign currency. You don't need for store professor for changing money before you pay. So other businesses then there as well, where they get a tourism license, they allow for accept foreign currency over the counter. Also, we make sure say anything where really unnecessary, we remove them. The bank there, for example, can accept foreign currency transaction from certain customers then, depending on the nature of the business with the customer they do. So take the NGO type business, where they get agreements with government, you know, they get able to transact in foreign currency, especially the one for import something, and could pay for them from the foreign currency account. They don't need for go trade, for go change out to Leone, come, all that they cause a lot of ignorance and confusion. So all of that we don't try for pool. Also, we announced to the bank and say they can begin to trust people in foreign currency. Provided the person they have program to us, they add foreign currency. If you know they do foreign currency, no, not for lend some money. But online small things then they what we call bottlenecks, we try to remove them so that the economy going to move. And touch wood, the exchange rates don't be relatively stable over this period where they talk so. Somebody asked, but we fall in reserve. The fall in reserve, I can help us in terms of almost months of imports we will cover. We will cover over 2.5 months, almost 3 months of imports as a team up this time while they talk to you soon. But with debt repayment, well, we are an agent for Ministry of Finance and they take debt on behalf of the country. We not need them in any of the debt repayment. Foreign debt we pay. Domestic debt that's different because the internal local currency we pay them as the government give instructions. But what I can tell you is for the foreign debt we not need them anything because we monitor and make sure we pay every month what's in the due. Cashless economy. This time the best question because this time the intention. Everything what they do have to move we towards a cashless society. We get a big financial inclusion program where we run a back of saloon. And the second life we on them. So the first one done 2020, this new one from 2022 to 2026. They do a range of things, but most important, how they include people and way not get access to financial services into the system. We get one thing what they do at the bank, what they call a sandbox. Basically, they encourage young entrepreneurs for work through commercial banks on their own, for country for us for license, for them to get a license, make them operate, make them bring businesses them where they're able to take we into the digital age. They call the minister call it digital inclusion. So then fintech there, we don't license Boku, then they test them, product them. Most of them are cashless systems that they try to put forward. We also do the national switch. In fact, we don't almost done on the instant payment. So what will happen is, in a few weeks' time, we will announce, you can take your phone. Right now one way. If you get orange no more. If you get free sell no more. If you don't you bank say you don't have no more. But when the instant payment finalized, and we did very close, like I will take my phone, I send money to somebody on the orange, or somebody on the free sell, and they receive them instantly. I will take money in my own bank account, I send it to somebody else's bank account, they will receive them instantly. This is not the system. So you can find out, say, the need for use Boku cash go down. In fact, right now, you can pay with Orange or Afri money, play this how you go, right? But what's in this instant payments go do? Like even Keke, the man will get a small QR code. The minister get one QR code where he puts in this advertisement. That QR code they get the person bank account detail and everything. When you use their service, you just scan your phone. Then the payments go from you, either your mobile money account or your bank account. So I tell the person who ask this question plenty times because this then I will objective and I will strategy this over the coming years. And when I will see them, because I will determine for them to move away because there's plenty benefits we will get.
Well, we get dates for that. It's a big news, so all man excited about
it.
We get period.
We get period, and I want to be careful. Give me. I will come back to you, but I will let you announce within the next 1 month. I will announce the term.
Okay.
Because we're almost done. So I talk to you, so all the engineer, and then talk with the work with the bank and everything. And we try for any bank they sign up and for demonstrate to the people and say this is the book. And it's very straightforward. Me I like to look forward about delay and withdrawal. Look, we announce in November. Before we announce, we know say with the intimate a strong ground. First, we know some we don't order enough notes then. Second, we know someone we get for shift with deadline. So we come out very clear to the public. We don't mix reward what they talk. We're very clear, and then we collect them where they are right now. They go on radio station, they go on newspaper, they do plenty things. Just for people to understand, say, we mean what we say, and we do everything for make sure say we achieve them. So that's make we achieve what we achieve. banknotes handling, I agree with you now. There's a lot of challenge. We don't invest a lot in the recent banknotes that we bring, the new family banknotes. They're stronger, they're nicer, but now we get for handling notes away. You know, if you get your money, I don't say all my new notes. Election at 2 Leone deposit. Election pass, you get a dotty 10 Leone or dotty 20 Leone. So the way you will enjoy your money, I think we all are fine. You know, we handle on fire, you know, put them on again, you know, you tire, you protect them. But only take cash when you need for take cash. You know, if I forget I get plenty cash with you. Like I say, instant payments they come, but I encourage you for also open bank account. Not every day for the play with cash. Because when you own all over so it is wither, you know, they won't say wear and tear. So now just good handling of the notes, now need they continue for encourage family for good. That's up the minister.
Yes,
I will
please.
take more questions.
All right. Thank you very much. I just want to say we're really excited by the prospects of the national switch. Don't say we promise, but I know say you as governor, we don't come. So many things and we don't put in place. And I'm glad you asked the question about cashless because in the private conversations with you, I know say like priority we don't set for help for transition this economy. So again, the country get problems, but there are things that are happening that are going well. We get things and they will people they will work day and night, we don't sleep. We are public servants then. We put things in place for let this country continue for the better. So we find two once in a while, they'll acknowledge that. Alright, let me see the hands. Ooh, this is a very popular question. Alright, we'll do the first 5 and then we come back again. The man in a very colorful shirt, Nine number 1. That man lady number 2. Yes, you number 2. The end yes, in the blue. You the number 3. The one in the green, the number 3. Mr. Kamara the number 4 right now, and the gentleman the number 5. You the next one. So we take them out with the first 5 inside the circle, and then we go out. All right. Let's do it sharp. If you knew that I will repeat the rules to you. The rules are very clear. The only superstar they will get are the people who are at this podium. I don't want to know other star. Your job now for ask you questions straight and to the point. Go.
Me and John Kelly, I report for Daybreak newspaper. Mr. Governor, before you take the governorship of Ibadan, your predecessor, Dr. Kalon, starts this nomination process. And it begins to be the time say the old Leones will go away and new Leones will come in place. But since then, that time not been it. And we'll be doing it in a condition where one country and 2 more will be in place, which leads to an inflation and the exchanges of all. So, which step up? You can't do these things once and for all. They will still say you need to the point. What you see say the lack for make the one way bank government will say from our way up going our person. Thank you.
Number 2. Also, if they don't ask you question, do you not ask again? Go.
My name is Mohamed Al Kamara. I write for Daily Scope newspaper. Yes, sir. According to Forbes, 2023, December 31st, the Sierra Leonean currency they ranked among the 10 weakest currencies in the world. What does this mean to you, and how you will tackle this?
Thank you. Next one.
Yes, as I'm wishing for now for good times. Madam Commissioner, you say the year 2024 starts good. One breakdown, how many they collect daily, weekly, and monthly if possible.
Mr. Kamadi number 4.
Mohammed Kimara of the Watch and the Zagora newspaper. Bank of Joseph, tell us, how does the global wars, pandemic, affect the inflationary and devaluation rate and the time of they make the transition from old to new news?
Thank you. If the superstar don't ask short question, you will not be superstar. If you ask long question, I catch you. Alright, clear. Go on.
The name is Francis Fortin, I'm the report for Civic blog. So, somebody who watched the live, they asked this question, say, in the future of the ID card, to Mr. Masakoi, precisely, say, in the future of the ID card, they say, what if they adopt them? Because probably when you register with the original parent, and later on the adopter, whether if that will affect them from getting inheritance from an adopted parent.
Alright, good. Thank you. See, easy. 5 questions. We can answer them. We'll get to another one. So, questions. Mr. Mariani question about follow look back. Which thing we learned from the former bank governor. The governor don't already talk say one for look forward, but I'll get a chance still. Somebody daily scope, they say Forbes say we will get the 10th quickest currency in the world. And the 2023 Kaula data day, waiting and they need to read, and it will be for the governor as well. Concord Times one know Madam Commissioner almost to be collect every day, every week, every month. One know all the details of how much they collect, so we will ask them there. New resident celebrity now, Mr. Kamara, among the journalists and we only celebrity, Mr. Kamara, and the dean of the Unawe new we guest them, and we dean of the journalists Mr. Kamara. He say how the global issues, pandemic and others, affect this with transition. And then a very technical question for you, Mr. Masako, say if somebody parental detailed information change, whose effects that legal gets on identification process. I think that question is giving, I ask them broadly on parental detail, but other things that they will change as well for people there, right? Some people in the area will change certain things, will discover certain things. Basically, those opportunities they will not get for all the information there. So, how do you do? I will start with you, Governor, because I think you have the big ones, and then we will do, because we want to do a couple of rounds. Yeah.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the people who asked the question. I think I get 3 questions. The first one about what we don't do differently. Like I say, and the minister say, we look forward, but we'll explain again what we do. We come out very clearly, and we know say we don't strong footing. We make sure we get enough stock, and we'll be very clear about the transition. But most important, we give an insurance. What's in an insurance? We say between the 1st of January and 31st of March, if you get your money go in any financial institution, they will change them for you, or you can go to a bank of salon. But no worry, you know they lost nothing. After the 31st of March, or the 1st of April, you get your money go to the bank of Sierra Leone. We go exchange them for you. As long as that money way Bank of Sierra Leone issue, because we have an obligation. We say we promise to pay on demand that amount. We will give you an equivalent face value. So that's we say, and we stick to that and continue for maintain that point. Sierra Leone currency being the 10th weakest, I normally get knocking out for comments on NTR because the Mexico that they use sometimes is very awkward because it's not a like for like. But look, the fact of the matter is you need to engage in more economic productivity and more export receipt for spent in the currency. So in terms of waiting efficient we for do, and they do them right now. For example, and the central bank, although independent, it by law supposed to support the economic policy of the government. The government they do big things them like feed salon, for example, agriculture. Agriculture will stand a big chance. Even the central bank they support agriculture. During the pandemic time, we've been able to do an agricultural credit facility, and we're about to roll that over. In fact, so minister another list that the bank but we're about to roll that over, so we will provide access and support to the agricultural sector. But we just need to earn more export receipts. The more export receipts we earn, the stronger our position will be. Our external balance becomes very strong. And we currency, because now we sell length in the day, so that they can buy we goods them. So we they get better weight, and we exchange it will be stronger. So the answer to the question, now more productivity, more earning of foreign currency. The third question about how the global wars and pandemic, it look like say, me and Apostle answer that question will change job because you know waiting in the talk. Precisely, you know, we're an import-based economy. We import rice, we import most of the essential things that we need. Even although we don't try now for produce locally, even eggs we import them. You know, vegetable like fruits, and they come up from North Africa. So when there is war and there's problem in the area of the day, supply chains then become disrupted. The way the things that they come is not they come, the price they go up. And when the price go up, because we inflation basket, food now a major component, as food price go up, inflation don't go up. And the thing is the way, because we also now importing country, exchange rates, any movement at the exchange rate, they affect prices in the country. Say the person they import, let me use my egg example again. Say they bring egg from Brazil. They import egg, but when the dollar go up, the amount they pay for that egg they can don't go up. So that they go reflected in the prices where they charge for egg. Then I just example, bread, when they import the flour, when they go the flour there, if problem there and it's difficult to get access to the flour, then the price of the flour they go up. So when you bring the flour, can make the bread, you will have to recover somehow, so you go test the price small. So that's how they lead to inflation. There's this thing that they call feedback, go and come between inflation and exchange rates. You know, if prices increase, they affect inflation. If the exchange rates go up, they affect price. So it's like when they play football, yeah, when they do, you know, exactly. So you are correct. If it gets an effect, maybe the timing will be good for me. We do very well. We bring inflation down to single digits, and then COVID happened. When COVID happened, things have become difficult. We spent over $100 million equivalent for support the importation of essential commodity. When then in the lockdown, I go to town for go buy something. I go to the supermarket, they want to check. The place all dry. Now I call the former boss with this. I said, oh, it look like say problem go be when we meet quick. We get for meat and we think outside the box. What we go do? Because importance they need for being essential goods that we need for them to survive. We import rice, we import all the major things that sardine, fish, and all that thing. Thank you, Minister. So we decide to say, okay, we get good reserve, we'll use some of them for support imports. So you find out, say, right through that pandemic time, things are not short in a fit on Sierra Leone, everybody. We go not to fit on our salon. Things are not short in. We make sure that we will support importers then. So you're absolutely right. It had an impact, but we try for deal with them as best as we can, given with limited resources. And the outcome what we see, it's difficult to tell, but if we not been doing what we do, we don't know what's before happening.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Governor. I want for come to the Commissioner General quickly, so we get another yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Hassan, for that question. You know, the daily revenue. So let me just quickly remind Pamela and say, I've been earlier on mentioned, say for 2024, we targeted 14.972 billion. And so what we can do when the year they begin, we break that up into quarters as a matter of fact. And then we take them from quarters and actually break them up into monthly, which we expect. And as I said, there are a lot of we get what assumptions then when they go into that. So like for example, for the first quarter, the month of March will be higher than January or February because we get so many things that what we expect to happen. Like for example, in March, we get a lot of concession payments then. Or maybe in March, we get the fifth quarter, fifth installment for corporate taxation. So the quarterly amounts are not equal, and then the monthly amounts are not equal also. So the way we target we set for a daily, we just take the monthly and multiply the number of days per month. And NRA, I can tell from them that the only institution in this country where every day they judge me because we have to report every day. The colleagues in there from the Bank of Sierra Leone, Mr. Samago tell you say at the end of every day, and they still don't wait for me to say that this will collect. So on an average for January, 34 million every day. But that amount is not fixed, depending on what they happen. We get tax stipends like GSC, it will come in the middle of the month, or PAYE, it will come at the end of the month. So it's not really fixed, but at the end of the day, at the end of the month, we strive for surpass the monthly targets. And as I said in the beginning, we barely meet the target for January. So again, we are judged every day. Every day we report. Every day we report. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Go on.
Thank you very much. The law very clear in case of that, with that question we ask on adoption. Adoption, you go with consent. Your biological parents and the one they were adopted. Consent, the people they will the law give authority to manage that process. They take care of. And you know the end between the institutions. They go to the Superior Court, now High Court, they determine and grant adoption. When High Court don't look at all the details of that adoption, then now when they approve them, they will request you for register with the NCI. Because now identity they change now. If you have been Francis Lahai, 12 years, they don't adopt you now. You now move. The court order they said clearly, they say if you change that name, the mandatory by law to change the name from Francis Lahai to, for instance, Michael Muda. And if that's the case, when that happens, court don't grant that, don't change that, then you now get access every right with Michael Muda. Then period will adopt you, will get fully access and enjoy that right. It's very clear that I make it only stop at court, and the court don't agree that can register the court identity don't change. So we'll give that and then we'll give the adoption certificates with records of the past, where you were before and where you are now.
And at the same thing what like you change the name.
Everything.
If you legally change the name.
Yes.
Say
when you change the name,
Mohammed Massakoy.
yes, the law make it clear what you will do for change from Genova to Mohammed Massakoy. That is clearly possible. What is not acceptable by law was not for them not change the date of birth. We law almost say the ball.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Let's do another round. Let me see the hands go up. We need to see females now. We don't see too many men. I want to start with the female. Number one, there. Any other female there? Now you number two. I'm not saying that radical inclusion is not so, because they're doing I pick. Number three, the gentleman yonder. Number four, the man with the glasses. Number five, you, that gentleman yonder. Okay? Let's do that quickly. Quick, number one.
My name is Barry, a student of mass communication at Friday College. My question goes for the governor, the bank governor. So the question will go for the bank governor. The question I ask is that why you think say the government of Sierra Leone changed the old Leones to the new Leones, where Sierra Leone did suffer from inflation, where we economy not be there in the high regard. So I want to ask you that you think say the change of the old Leones to the new Leones can be the best way that they for address the inflation challenges and promote economic stability in Sierra Leone?
All right, thank you very much, Madam. We appreciate the question. Number two. Number two, now the other lady under.
Yes, I am Mariama Solekoma from AYC.
Yes.
I'm asking this question to the Director General of NCR.
Yeah.
So I want him to give us statistical data of Sierra Leoneans who have taken their national identity card, because there is no data out there in the public that people can use to make reference.
Okay. I see the woman in the neck English. Yeah. The neck English. Number one, number two. Now you watch my way. Yes. All right. Number three. Thank you for that. It's a very good question. Number three, I think I reject my hand.
Good afternoon. In Bokani, Camera. I write for the Newspaper newspaper. Goma Sakwe. What is Bishop Dominic for the military, the police, and the correctional service for them to go get the ID card, because it is very important for them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Number four.
FCC Choice FM. In connection with the ID card, we understand they say the 31st. Everybody from the ID card.
31st March.
March, correct. Everybody from the ID card, yes. So the first, when an April Fool, what will happen if the minimum ID card, what things they will do, what is security will do. Then at the same time, we find out say the online voters like carrying out free, people are not voting down. Then this are 145,000 euros out of voting down.
All right. I can always say when you ask the question back, some premise they will make is very wild. Millions of people have voted in the last election because they take the ID card. So that premise they are taking shows and say people have voted the ID card. Many people have taken the ID card. A small percentage they will not take the ID card, but enough sufficient for them to make that word statement. They will answer the question. Number 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mahmoud Sila Namine
Yeah.
of the Nature newspaper. Madam Commissioner, I want to know if the NRA collect revenue on rentage. If not, don't you think you are losing a lot of revenue?
Oh, nature. Nature is back now English. All right, we get 5 questions. Now, thank you. It's time for both people right now. And it's time for end this again at 3:45. Governor, the first question for you, but I'll end with you this time, so I'll give a chance for it. But the questions say what make we change to the new law and why, and whether you think it's going to be a good idea considering the circumstances. Gomez, you get a few questions in there, sir. Statistical data of the Sierra Leoneans that we don't take the ID card. Can we track the numbers? How far would they write down? A very good question about any special provision they will make for we service people and what they do. Very important question we Mr. Sisi asked, although I think he should listen with premise. But the importance of the question is key. Waiting they happen past the deadline, with an effect of the deadline. Because they get effect, say, oh, by this date, all now for the get ID card. So the next morning, if you don't get ID card, waiting that day. So we'll finally get some clarity on that. And then, Madam Commissioner, NIU will collect revenue on it, if not, senior maximum. Alright, so we'll start with you actually, Commissioner. And then we go to Mr. Masakori, then most of the question will end with the
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Mahmoud. Maybe I should respond in English. I want to tell thank you, and I'm glad the way you really bring down the come up, because rental income tax now one of the major tax handle them when we get na the NRA. But unfortunately, now one of them where the compliance level is really low. Prior to now one of the departments and then we actually get a unit. Now one of the units and tax and then we get for money. And then they happen even when we don't get all them buildings then, commercial buildings then and rental property around the country. So waiting I do where I take office in December, the first meeting where I hold with the team, rental income tax now one of the big items that what I put on the table. Where currently me and the team they put strategies them in place, how for support that unit, they not only with resources, but for make sure say we increase the compliance level. But that responsibility also rests with WUNA. I not say we walk away there with the rent. And rental income tax or withholding tax, which means when you pay rent to somebody, you for make sure say they do that withholding tax or tell the landlord or landlady say you therefore withhold that tax say and pass them over to the NRA. So as much as you bring them, they come up, I want to send them back to Cambodia. But just make sure say yeah. Now when I go for April, because when that time they come, tell you landlord and you landlady say this rent why they pay you, yeah, you therefore withhold and turn them over to NRA because the compliance level, as I don't tell you, is very low. But when they put strategies in place, I know say the next time I go come and I go complain you. When I go complain you, so when I make sure say we work as a team.
CG, just for be clear. The question always with withholding tax then now who that who side the money for common. So we don't negotiate down for the rent. We say now 15 million. The withholding tax, if we come out inside the 15 million or now 15 million plus withholding. Now they always this confusion to come out first.
Okay, thank you for that answer.
What did the law say?
So the law say the 15 million. The percentage, the withholding tax, the rental income tax, 1 at 10%, if for come up and go, just the GST. When you go for mobile, that 15%, we don't already include them. So to make sure say the landlord, make the landlord know say that money where they charge me, the withholding tax for rental income tax is already in there.
And the responsibility for
the landlord, yes, for make sure say they pay. But also the tenants also get the responsibility for ensure. Make sure say the landlord is aware that the withholding tax is supposed to pass along to NRA.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. we have a few questions. Take them on quickly.
Thank you very much. What's going to happen beyond the 1st of March? We're going to say everybody forget ID card. And we just mentioned the law say because the law say all man forget identified, all man forget the national ID card. And when the 31st meet, because we do together as sectors, we determine, we put out a notice to inform the public, say everybody forget ID card, we will be on the next steps. But what is going to happen across the globe in other countries who know very well what they happen, for instance, in Gambia, in Nigeria, in Ghana, etc., that when you do not get ID card, the law can find way there for make sure you get that. One way is, for instance, if there are checkpoints, they will ask for ID card or they can produce them before they allow you to proceed. But when we go to that, we will determine what to do. But importantly, you already don't know, say, for they getting services and then for they get work, for make you get nurses, for make you able to pay tax, for make you able to forget you go to school or pay the exam fees. Whatever you do in terms of having access to service in this country is now tied to the ID by law. So if you not get that, not blame government tomorrow say you go do the transaction at bank not allow you. It is because you don't refuse to get ID card for identifying for them the bank to know who are you. So now you get that blame for the now you say by the 31st we don't get all the facilities open across the country. Go take the ID cards. No, you don't blame anybody for saying they're excluding. Secondly, we don't go ahead now for beginning to do IDs for our security forces, the military, the police, the correctional service, and the fire force, and all the part of advanced now. Thanks to the leadership of those institutions, for cooperative NCRA and government as a whole, for make sure say the people that they take ID. Similar movement with the public and the civil service, for make sure say every public servant or every civil servant in this country get ID card. The civil service when they impose that, say everybody will get ID card. Every civil or public servant will get ID card in Ghana. The number of ghost servants will reach over millions. So we will start that very soon. On the percentage of the ID so far, we have said we don't get a record of 90% on the population. But as we proceed with the issuance, we will now determine and educate the public through again the Honorable Minister. Then in a forum like this, we say not only for national now, all of those categories of ID cards, foreign nationals, when they are the body, don't make a man.
No, excuse me, sir. Una listen, please, because I don't want to let take fake information from here. You know, still they don't register 90%. So they get information on about 90% of the people there. And when we don't get more and more people that take the ID card and go reports on that, 90% of people that don't take ID card into not to truly say. Because already news don't capture the fake news, you know they do that.
And we not only report on the minister,
yes, sir.
We not only report on the citizens, but also they want to win a foreign national students, because when the law say, they say forget the non-national ID card. Because the law says before you get resident permit, what permit and this country for them non-national ID card. All the 4 categories of ID so they produce and listen, they will give that detail of everybody. Otherwise, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So just to declare again, I'm not saying the commitment is a bit fake news, no so. And then we bring council not also discount the debate radio. You get the bank governor, you get the Commissioner General of NIA, the Director General of NCI. The Sidon NIA provide you detailed factual information. Okay, so what you want to respond on that question? Yes. All right, finish. Yes.
Something on the voter ID card. Somebody say voter ID card are free, and the national ID card you pay money for. That's it. The essence there is voter ID card. Now, you know, compulsory. Now, what you want, not by force for vote. When you want vote, now you will go vote. If you don't want, they're not the punish you. Say, no, not do the same because you don't vote, you don't commit an offense. No, it's not mandatory. But the ID now, the ID card, the law make and say, go for that by force. By law. So you for register and you forget ID card. Because if you don't get that and tomorrow you will be excluded, you don't get opportunity for enjoying your rights as either a citizen or a resident of this country. And when that happens, you blame government and government not deprive you or deny you opportunities for enjoy your rights in this country. Now the difference is that voting is by choice as you want.
Yes. All right. So now come to the governor to answer your question. They will have up after that.
Thank you very much. A very good question. Madam Bali, why change the old Leone to the new Leone? Was it the best way to address inflation and exchange it? While the objective of the denomination or the currency reform that we do, also been for inflation and exchange rate. Inflation and exchange rates question an ongoing question for we. In fact, we mandate a price stability. We need to do everything we can within we power for make sure so we maintain stable prices. The currency reform decision is sovereign decision. But always when you take that kind of decision here, its success depends on how the economy perform going forward. So all market will work together. The NRA, the Ministry of Finance, the business community, we all get forward. And I think that will begin to happen. As we see, we don't get stability in the exchange rate, and I believe so inflation, even going forward, will trend downwards. So the objective not to be for first inflation and exchange rate. To the contrary, the objective will be, for address the issue about accounting issues with the currency. We get plenty notes there where they prepare documents, where they even talk to people in other countries, then they call you currency, you talk about 100 million and that own money. Impossible, they understand better. So it tried for help for make we pricing mechanism more understandable and more relatable. So that was really the essence, other than say you want for inflation and exchange. That is like a continuous objective we'll get, we'll need for address. So the denomination will succeed if we all continue to work together for address the economic challenges there. The issue about education, just a numerical transition, a numerical transformation we do. Not so anything beyond that. But you therefore do them well and make sure that everybody there in the same frame of mind for work towards achieving broader macroeconomic stability. Thank you, Minister.
Thank you very much. On that note, I think saying that 10 minutes follow will be cutting down. We don't get plenty questions, a lot of very pertinent information. I want to take this opportunity, first of all, to apologize to the community of people with disability. We normally don't carry say with press conference and they be carried live as well with sign language. And I noticed it today, and one day with the sign language team not there. I want to apologize to the one day we are not saying plenty people that get disability, we don't reach out to me and commend you for that. And in the midst of this very pertinent information we'll give out so today we don't miss out on that. I apologize for that, and I'll get to the bottom of why this happened and we will make sure say it don't happen again. I want to tell thank you to the very distinguished panelists that will get here. The Honorable Governor of the Bank of Salome, Dr. Stevens, fantastic public speaker, very calm management of the central bank. Really appreciate your leadership. The sister, Madam Jennifer Bangura, I think I will publicly also congratulate you on taking on this new position and the poise with which you don't take her on, and I know you get a very wonderful vision for this country, and we wish you well. My comrade, Mr. Mohammed Masakoi, congratulations on the fantastic work you do, and thank you for what you continue to provide updates to the people. And I want to ask on behalf of the people of Salome, as Kona 3, when I work really important, do a little work together, don't continue for get this information. Honestly, for being on account. We will make sure so that the people here and the people of Salome will follow me, no say. Anything they want information, instead of they go fake news and pass, we there for provide that information to them. I'm also thank you to all the local stations, community stations, they will carry live, AYD, SLBC, Unity, and the other online platform they will carry live. I'm also thank you to the sponsor, Sarah Wata, who are doing all the Wata within our table, and then not commit for sponsor we now going forward. I also thank you to Online Salon with the able for stream live. Minister of Foreign Affairs with a host stream I continue for hosting to move to Miata conference by the way very soon. This press conference, they move to Miata conference. We're almost there, almost. And I'm going to say, Una, the journalist and we partner, plenty thank you for our support and collaboration. Until next week, we will come back to another edition of this press conference. Assalamu alaikum.